Good afternoon, SBL fans, and welcome to another afternoon blockbuster here at the SCG, where the Sydney Sixers are going to take on the currently bottom of the ladder Melbourne Renegades, yet to win in their debut season. They were looking for a big match today to try and kickstart their finals hopes in such a short season. Two losses is almost deadly unless you win the rest of them. Whereas the Sixers, they've won one and lost one. They've been pretty good so far this season. Winning against the reigning premiers, the Thunder, before they lost to the Scorchers last week. And I'm actually joined here today by Scorchers captain Josh Pretlove. Perhaps you can just give us a bit of a run through of that game and how the Scorchers came out on top.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been a bit of a transition. Obviously, new captain, new vice captain coming into the Scorchers,
Yeah.
trying to work some things out. But yeah, I mean, look, I think we've got a good foundation, especially with Dom Young coming in through the fold as a bowler. So keen to see how that kind of flows through. But speaking of new players, we actually do have a debutant in the Renegades side, Lonnie Lawrence. He'll come in at number 11 for this game.
Yeah, and so we wouldn't expect to see him this innings. Things have to go disastrous for the Renegades, who are batting first for their number 11 to get in. And Tyreek Hamilton gets off the mark there with a nice little leg glance. But we will see Lonnie Lawrence bowl later on in the game, and we'll have to see how he goes. The rookie build against a few veterans in this Sixers team could go for a bit of tap. Speaking of veterans, Rohan Cavalli's been around for a while now, averages only 18 though, at a pretty healthy strike rate. He'll be looking to really kick on this season for the Renegades, of course. John McCartney and Joey Kelly are the real big dogs in the middle order, but you always want an opener to sort of get going, don't you, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit of a flip of the coin with how you kind of decide to go with your openers. Like conversations on if you put your two strong batters up first, or if you kind of go with a kind of a sacrifice option. So yeah, openers is always, for me, it's always been a bit of a tricky discussion.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to call anyone a sacrificial lamb, but for the Renegades, that could be Tyreek Hamilton. So I'll have to see what he can do today. Riley Flynn's been around for a while. He's put together a pretty nice opening over so far, just the 2 runs off the first 3 balls. As he ambles in now, he's gone full again. Oh, it's an edge, but it hasn't carried. Some great slipping, and then the keeper's missed it, so they get a single, maybe even two here. Nah, just the one. You wouldn't be happy with that if you were a Sixers captain Blair Curtin or one of their fans. They just sort of let that one go for no reason there. So it's put Kovar back on strike for the 5th ball of the over. They got a deep third and a deep backward square, so maybe they're looking to go full. And yeah, he's hit it there, but unfortunately for the Sixers, the field is just a bit fine, and that's 4 runs. The first boundary for the Renegades goes to Rohan Kaval. Played it off the leg, pretty nicely. Not really in a whole lot of trouble. We haven't seen a lot of swing here. The pitch is a bit of a cooked one, perhaps more so for the spinners than for the seamers. So maybe they're just looking to target Riley Flynn while he's on before the spinners get on board.
Yeah, not too sure kind of the discussion with the groundskeepers on how they wanted the field went. I'd be keen to kind of hear that discussion because, yeah, bit of an interesting pitch, like you said there, targeting more of your seam bowlers.
Yeah, look, I wasn't in the discussion, but I can pretty much guarantee Blake Curtin said, me and Dolan want to take bulk bowls, and that's the pitch that they've rolled out. So Dolan it is now. He's going to open from the other end, coming into Caval. He bowls these sort of right arm off his Dolan, and they're going up here. I thought they might have pitched outside leg. The umpire might agree with me. It looked a bit high as well, but good start. Do not refer that Blake Curtin. It'll be a waste of a review. We'll have a quick look. Or perhaps we will not. As Dolan. Or perhaps we will. Yeah, so pitched outside leg. Never really out there. A good choice by Blake Curtin. And might be going over. We'll have to wait and see. Oh no, hitting smack bang. 3/4 way out middle. So yeah, just pitched outside leg there. Which means that, of course, it can't be given out if you offer a shot. But a good start for Dolan. A dot ball always handy as he comes in again. Interesting he's coming around the wicket. Because they appeal again. That's also pitch outside leg. Yeah, coming around the wicket takes out the LBW because it means that, the majority of your ball is going to pitch outside leg. So when you only have 3 modes of dismissal, really, the court, the bowled, and the LBW, you want to make the most of one. And that's the other thing. Anything that starts down leg and full, it's going to stay there, and it's easy runs behind the batsman, which is what Rahul Rohan, one of the Kavalas has done there, just turned around the corner. Do you reckon it's the right play around the wicket, Josh, or do you think he needs to come back over?
I mean, look, so far it's been rocks and diamonds for the first couple balls. We've obviously seen a couple dot balls and then that 2 runs. So I'm not too sure. I think it definitely could work, but I think it's too soon to tell at the moment. I think next couple of balls here will give us a clear picture.
Yeah, I think it's very much a defensive kind of move. It takes out a lot of the wicket-taking options, but it also means you can stack your field and they have 3 or 4 guys inside the ring on the leg side because they know that's where the ball's going to end up. And now he goes over the wicket and, yeah, straight away they put the 2 guys back straight, which is very smart as Dolan comes in now. He just gets nice little tap through cover, but fielded well there. So a great over in the end from Dolan, none for 3 off it, and that'll give us a run rate of about 5.5, I think. Are we none for 11 after 2 overs? As we just look at the pitch map, all of them nice and full. Gonna hit the stumps. Yeah, none for 11. So going to 5.5. So I reckon if you're a Renegade, you're a bit concerned here. You want to really get this run rate going as Flynn comes back in for his second over. Straight away, that is plum. That is dead set plum. And they give him a great ball by Riley Flynn, starting outside off and just seamed in. Rohan Koval played all around it, and that's the first wicket for the Sixers.
Yeah, a bit of an early wicket there from the Renegades, especially to go down in the first couple overs. Yeah, as you see, that's probably one
well
of the
out.
wickets definitely well out. Yeah, as we see, Rohan he'll exit the game with 9 balls faced, and I believe it's 8 runs he scored.
Yeah, not the greatest start from him as now O'Hare comes into the attack. He averages 9.5, so maybe Riley Flynn's thinking this is the easy wicket. He comes in again. Bowl's almost the same ball, but this time an outswinger. So pitched about the same spot. Swung out. O'Hare overcompensated for the swing. Got a thick inside edge, and that's 4 runs. Off the mark with a 4, O'Hare. Not the most convincing of strokes. But it just shows that there is something in it here for the seamers still, even though it is a spinner's pitch. That moved pretty significantly off the deck here, so the cutters look like they're doing a bit. And Riley Flynn will take notice of that. Again, he has no coverage at that deep fine leg. He's expecting the edge to go to the third man if he's going to be rolling out. And now he goes another innie, so he's got to move him both ways here, Riley Flynn. They go out with an appeal. Looked like it might have been sliding down leg, and the umpire agrees with me. Yeah, the Sixers choose not to review it. Probably the good choice here. But O'Hare's under a bit of pressure. Missed one and an edge for his first 2 balls now. And then Riley Flynn goes short. Oh, and no, it's been dropped by Matthew Harris behind the stumps. Chance of a run out, but they miss. Man, it's all happening in that ball, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, a bit of a fielding error and then an overthrow, missing the wickets there. Could have been dangerous there for the Sixers, but I guess it's kind of the best result you could have gotten if you were a Sixers fan there.
Well, probably the wicket is the best result if you're a Sixers fan.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You're
the caught
absolutely right.
behind or the run out. Both would have been preferable. But yeah, if you're a Renegade, that's the best result. You get a run, and you get a drop catch and a missed run out chance. So yeah, O'Hare just riding the luck at the moment. They put a slip in now, so Matt Harris won't have to dive as far. Perhaps a good choice. He goes short again. And Tyreek Hamilton's too good to miss out on that. He just nice little hook shot in front of square. Well fielded by the mid-on who tracks back, and O'Hare has to dive to make it in, but never really in danger. You got to think a more experienced batter's going to put that over the rope. Nice little short ball. It wasn't at the throat. It was a bit down, so not much danger for the batter. It looks like they might be going short again here. Deep square leg and a deep backward square. And they go the double bluff, play full instead, and well done having that slip in there because he stops a certain 4 runs off the edge. And Riley Flynn just not having a whole lot of luck here. 2 edges, no wickets. And that'll be his spell. Quite a tidy one in the end, especially in the power play. I think he'd be happy with that. And Renegades earlier under a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Run rate of 6 at the moment. It's making the job harder for them. They're obviously going to want to click into gear quite quickly. Otherwise, this game might be over as quickly as it started.
Yeah, and if you look at the field here, the Sixers are really squeezing everyone inside the ring. And as a batter, I love this field. It just means you just got to connect with it even a little bit. And as long as you clear the infield, you got 4 runs. Unfortunately for the Renegades, their batters just look very shaky at the moment. It doesn't look like any of them want to go aerial, which, I mean, there's only 6 and a bit overs to go. You're going to have to get a move on eventually. 9 wickets in the shed. And I think O'Hare's been caught behind here. The umpire gives it. He finally showed a bit of aggression. Justin Dolan too good.
That's a great ball there to get a bit of a snick there and being caught through from behind. Matty Harris there with the safe hands. This is going to be interesting because it brings into the fold now Jai McCartney, who in the recent Four Nations tournament we had was a pretty solid batter there, as you can kind of see his stats there. So maybe he's the man that can get the Renegades rolling a little bit.
Yeah, well, someone needs to, that's for sure. And he just plays a nice little back foot punch there, 2 mid off for a little side of first ball. You can just see Dolan's at the moment just absolutely ragging it both ways. In the first over, they were all just sliding on essentially, and now he's got them turning quite significantly, which is when the batsman gets caught in two minds, and that's when the edge comes in. McCartney now with a very nice square drive. That's the kind of class he can bring to a game, straight through that forward point region for 4 runs. And have they missed a trick not bringing him in earlier? Do you think, Josh, or is this the right time for him?
Look, personally myself, I probably would have looked at him a little bit earlier, possibly that third batter mark, bring him in at number 3. That was definitely kind of in the discussions when he was a scorcher at the beginning of the season. But
Oh, I
look,
forgot
I
all
guess,
about that.
yeah, well, I mean, I'm not too sure. Might
Water under
be
the
too little,
bridge.
too late for Jai to bring it back. But what we got 6? Is it 6 overs left? Sorry,
I believe
5 or
5
6.
overs now.
Yeah,
Sorry, 6 overs now. So
yeah,
4 overs, 2 for 22, the Renegades. That's under a run of ball, which is not where you want to be. Tyreek Hamilton's only faced 6 of the first 24 balls.
Oh,
Oh, and just absolutely smokes one to a short cover. I think that's Riley Flynn with a terrific catch. Mason Remy, the big in-swinging Yorker, and that was for the moment it left the bat until Riley Flynn just got his hands in the way. How's the reaction time?
that's some great reaction time there as we get an interesting cap cam, I guess.
Yeah, little point of view.
That now brings in Joey Kelly to the fold, another really good batsman there, a good pickup in the off season for the Renegades. So these two men, I definitely think combined they can make a difference here. They got 5 and a bit overs to do it.
Yeah, and the problem is for the Renegades, even if they go at 10s from here on out, they're only going to be looking at about 80, so they're really going to want to get a motor on. Mason Remy, another bowler who's been around for a long time, is very hard to get away. Blair Curtin certainly, I got quite the bowling stock. He hasn't even taken the ball yet, Blair, so we know what he can do, which doesn't bode well here for the Renegades, as Joey Kelly gets off the mark with a nice leg lance. Well fielded down there to keep it to 2. Looked like it was going to be a boundary for a moment, but they cut it off. And you got to wonder, is this the pitch playing tricks or the Sixers just bowling too well? You never judge a pitch until both teams bat on it. That's the golden rule in cricket. But at the moment, it looks pretty dicey to bat on.
Absolutely, and it's making the Sixers bowling team look good too. So yeah, I guess you're absolutely right. They can't really make a decision on how this pitch is going yet.
Yeah, Remy, however, will be very happy with it. He's four balls, 1 for 2. A great start to his spell. And he goes full again here. He's really tempting that drive. It worked for him with that first week, but Joey Kelly wisely keeps on the ground there. With the catching cover, I think they have an extra cover and a mid-off. There's not a whole lot of room there, so it's not a bad ball to bowl. Yeah, you can just see on that little fielding diagram in the top right, not a lot of space through the offside. You have to go 4 to point if you're going to punch it through there, and that's where Joey Kelly looks to go. You can hear me down there, and that's 4 runs from the moment it left the bat. Joey Kelly just starting to slide into some form, maybe.
Absolutely. I mean, with both Jai McCartney and Joey Kelly being those kind of veteran players, those long-standing players, this is the mentality they bring. They're kind of heads up, knowing where they're going to want to hit it and knowing where those gaps are, like you just explained to us before. So definitely a great way to start some. So end it. Sorry, good way to end that set.
Oh, and that is an absolute shocker from McCartney. He misses the full toss from the off spinner. That is something you never, ever want to see from any batsman. He's going to have nightmares about this one for a long time. That's a 6, a freebie that he's just missed. I don't know why he's tried to play that through the offside. That's a little flick over cow corner if I've ever seen one. And Blair Curtin has gotten away with absolute murder there. An off spinner bowling a full toss should be dispatched every single time.
Absolutely, as we see another rookie for the season, Kaya Foa. He played really well in the rookie games in the back end of last season, and looks to get himself underway with a bit of a tricky shot there.
Yeah, a little reverse there from Afoa. He's decided time to take the game on. He thinks the Renegades have been a bit too passive so far, and I think I'd agree with him. It's almost time to get a bit inventive here. We know Joey Kelly has the full array of reverses and paddles and laps and everything, so we'll have to see if he goes conventional or what he decides. As Blair goes very short there, and somehow uh, the keeper just completely misses that one off the thick edge. Joey Kelly with 4 runs behind the keeper. I mean, all the boundaries count. Doesn't really matter how you score them, and yeah, this pitch just playing big tricks. But I tell you who can't blame the pitch, John McCartney. That ball didn't even bounce. So now Blair coming in again. He's had an eventful first 3 balls. Pitches this one just about middle, and Joey Kelly, he doesn't mind it through the covers, it looks like, as he tries to go there again. I actually thought Blair bowled off spin, but it looks like he's bowling leg spin from his action. I'll have to wait and see his player profile as he comes in. Yeah, that is definitely leg spin. Apologies for saying Joe missed out to a full toss from an off spinner, but full toss from a leg spinner is arguably easier to hit. So not much helping him there as Joey Kelly just plays one. Sorry, Kaya Foa plays one through there. I've just lost my mark a bit there. Was that Joey Kelly on strike or Kaya Foa?
I believe we'll find that it was Joey
Kelly. Yeah, so he's starting to find some form here. 14 off 8. I think that could put him as the top scorer. As Blair now bowls are wrong, and see, that's what confused me because I know he does like to turn it both ways. And if you saw how much that one turned as a wrong-in, that's how you know that this pitch is doing wonders for the bowlers, because wrong-ins are not meant to turn that far. It's going to be very, very tricky for the batters as the spin bowlers come on. As Remy comes back on to finish his spell. 1 for 6 off his first over. Very well done. Joey Kelly maintained the strike, which is smart. Remy goes short, and Joey Kelly goes down the ground. Not conventionally where you see that ball go, but due to the misfield, they get a run anyway. I thought that was disappearing over cow corner. Joey Kelly, though, does things his own way, as he always has, with a back foot drive. I tell you what, it looked nice.
It definitely did, but we're getting to kind of that crunch period there. We're 4 for 39. As we see, that's really nice. That's a great save to save the boundary there. But yeah, we're only at a 6.32 run rate. So I'm not too sure at what point this starts to get away from the Renegades, but I think we're getting towards that period.
Yeah, I think you'll definitely see these teams look to accelerate, and they've left a big gap through mid-wicket here, which is crazy. But Joey Kelly doesn't go there, which is probably the ball to go there if he wanted to as well. He just plays little off drive to a short mid off. And again, they leave the big wicket gap open. So they just tempted Joey Kelly here. Kaya Foa, sorry. They want him to go across the line as they go short. Instead, they put it outside off. So good bowling to the field. They had the deep point as well if he manages to punch it through. As we just get a little field change, I think. No, we don't. So yeah, anything onto the pads and it's 4 runs. But so far, Rummy's done a good job keeping it outside off stump. And again, he does. Again, another edge. So a lot of edges in this game. The slip does well here. You don't often see a slip in the 7th over of a T10 game. And yeah, look, when I saw this field, I did not think it was going to work. But Mason Remy making the ball talk at the moment. Is now he goes short, and that's got to be runs. Yeah, Kaya Foa just plays that off his hip. You got to think it'll run to the boundary, but it might just pull up short. Yeah, great fielding there. They bat back to the other fielder, and they only get 2 runs there. So great over from Mason Remy. He's going to finish 1 for 11. And on a pitch that's built for the spinners, that's pretty exceptional pace bowling. As Blair Curtin comes in again now and just gets... Joey Kelly walks at him and tries to put him over cover, but he toes it. Luckily, it falls short of that short cover. And yeah, you can see the intent from Joey Kelly. And even Kaya Foa last over, he tried to get it moving, but unfortunately, the bowling's just been very tight. And yeah, maybe Joey Kelly's going to keep hitting with the spin. Yep, that's exactly where he goes, and straight over cover. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's what Joey Kelly's done. Almost a mirror image of the last shot, but he just got to the pitch of the ball a little bit better this time. So straight out of the middle, and this is what we've been waiting for, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see, the first 6 of the game here belongs to Joey Kelly. Great way to get us started, and yeah, 83 meters off the bat that 6 went. So definitely a great way to get the get the over started. Let's see if they can build some momentum off of it.
Yeah, and Curtin follows up with a wrong one, which is spin bowling 101. When you get hit for six, you want to do something different the next ball. But they have kept the same field, which is interesting. So if he gets too full, Joey Kelly's going to punish him. And that's exactly what we see there. There's no one behind square on the leg side, and it's an easy shot. If you're confident that you're going to beat that short fine leg, it's four runs a moment left the bat, and Joey Kelly's starting to accelerate here. That's 10 runs off the last three balls. Nice little flick. I'll tell you what, that man needs a sponsor if he's going to keep batting like this. And the clean skin bat. And again, they haven't changed the field. So Blair Curtin really trusting his process here. As he bowls almost the exact same ball, but this time Joey Kelly walks across and he can't get it as fine. So just a single. And I think the Sixers will be happy to get him off strike.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see, Joey Kelly there, he's increased his runs for the day quite. Not too sure what was going on there. I guess they got a little bit excited there, Matty Harris, trying to get that wicket. But yeah, Joey Kelly, he definitely had a bit of fun in that over, and he'll get to do it all again because he'll start off on strike.
Yeah, and you see Curtin bowled a toppy and two wrong-uns in that lot of six. Just the three conventional leg spinners. And now Lee Simons comes into the attack. Right arm offies. I like to call them right arm help yourselves, especially when they come around the wicket. Joey Kelly, no deep mid wicket. He's going to look to punish here, and that's exactly where he goes. If you're going to bowl around the wicket and you're going to bowl off spin, you need a deep mid wicket because that's where every single batter is going to try and put it. And Joey Kelly is just picking on the rookie at the moment.
Absolutely, as we see it there, that's some great contact and driven straight to the boundary.
Yes, now they don't change the field, so Lee Simon's really got to try and push it across him. He does it a bit better there, but Joey Kelly, too good, gets to the pitch of the ball and launches it over .4, a one bounce four. You wouldn't quite call that a drive. It was a bit of a slog in all honesty, but he made good contact with it. And yeah, with no one deep out there, it was 4 runs the moment left the bat, and you see how much that turned off the pitch. So Joey Kelly's read that superbly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it seems for the last couple of overs we've seen that the ball's been getting a lot of movement here. So I guess the ideology behind the pitch choice for Blair Curtin, I think it's definitely doing its job.
Yes, Kelly goes, that's 3/4 in a row. That one just little lap, got across his stumps and just put it behind square. They have a deep square leg, but he's just timed it so well that he had no time to get there. And Lee Simon, I tell you what, get over the wicket, please, because this is not working here. And he stays around. And they don't change the field. So the ninth over starting to get big here for the Renegades. And Joey Kelly's out. Lee Simons finally executes his plan. He gets it outside the off stump and just turns it straight back into that off peg. Joey Kelly, it looked like he just tried to go across the line a little bit there. Thought it was going to turn a bit more than it didn't. He's going to have to depart now. Well bowled for a well-made 39 off just the 17 balls. And it brings the captain into the attack. Daniel Hellyer.
Yeah, we kind of see the foundation that Joey Kelly laid, the 19 balls, 39 runs. It sets the scene for the captain there to kind of come in and elevate them further. I'm keen to see how he goes with this. He talks a long walk there. Let's see if talks a lot of talk there. Let's see if he can match that with the walk he does.
Well, yeah, he's actually a bowler, so I'm not expecting too much. I think he'll just try to get Kaifawa on strike. As he's done here, Kaifawa will probably just try and turn it around for a single, but they're up at round about 7s and over here, which is not bad as Lee Simon just unfortunately gets way too full there, and it's an easy 4 runs from Kaifawa. With Joey Kelly's going, he's going to have to step up, and yeah, I think the first couple of balls this next over is just going to look for a single to get him off strike, and basically a full toss from Lee Simon, and it was a full toss in the end. He walked down to it. Easy runs. What's the point of cooking the pitch if you don't use it?
Absolutely, as we get a bit of a look at the pitch map there, bit everywhere.
Yeah, that first ball that just did not bode well for the over. He did drag it back as now Mav Keller comes into the attack. For the first time in his career, a former keeper changed into a bowling all-rounder here. We'll have to see what he can do. He's come off a long run, so he's pretty confident. Only the 2 back straight, and he goes with the Yorker straight up, and Daniel Hellyer very nicely just chips that with a little leg lance to fine leg. Done his job there, Daniel Hellyer. Kaifawa on strike now. I actually think this matchup, probably for the first time all game, favours the Renegades. As Keller comes in again, he's put a slip in, so he's confident. Goes full outside off stump and a thick edge down to a third man. So I think the pace is just sort of worrying the batters here a little bit. Going 147 k's an hour. It's not the kind of pace that you face very often, especially as a number 7 that hell yeah is. Kai Fire, of course, batting 6, maybe a little bit more confident. But it's Dan Hellier that's on strike now. 4 balls left in these innings. They want some boundaries to really maximise their score. And another Yorker, and Hellier once again just walks across. Well, the fielder's dogged that a bit, I reckon. He takes it on the bounce. He kept moving the whole time. He could have got there with a dive, but just wasn't confident enough. So, interesting choice there. I suppose you'd rather stop the single and rather than potentially, miss field for a boundary if you're going for the catches. Now, Mav Keller comes in again, and Kaya Fower pumps him a very nice cover drive, and it's a maximum from Kaya Fower. We said the matchup favoured him, Josh, and I think finally Kaya Fower's turned up.
Yeah, absolutely. As we didn't get to see much of him when Joey Kelly was into bat. Joey Kelly obviously taking up a lot of the balls before he got out. So it's kind of really been the first opportunity he's gotten to, I guess, express himself, and we see a maximum off him.
Yeah, and then they go the wide Yorker, and that goes for 4 as well, the square drive. Straight through the vacant point region. They got a backward point and a sort of cover point, but no point itself, so it's 3 runs, and this certainly helps the run rate. 10 off the last 2 balls, and Kai Foa, he'll be quite pleased. Mav Keller, if you're going to bowl that full, you got to have, if you're going to have full and wide on the offside, you need plays deep on the offside, and he just doesn't quite have that at the moment, so it's an interesting ball to bowl. I guess they're backing their fielders in the ring to cut it off, but very risky as the last ball of the innings comes now. Kai Foa goes bang once again. 6 over cover again, Kai Foa has. So Mav Keller, unfortunately, in his first over in his SPL career, has gone the distance. 19 off the last over, and that's going to lift the Renegades to quite a respectable score in the end on this very, very tricky pitch where the spin bowlers really did take advantage. As you see Blackburn patting on the back, I thought there was no balls left in the inning, so maybe this is just a pump up for next time. So look at the pitch map. Yeah, just way too full. I tried to land a few Yorkers, but they just didn't quite get there, and they all the ones disappeared. So the Renegades will walk off the field pretty happy here. And we are back, and it's time for the Sixers' turn to bat, chasing 91, which I personally think is well above par on this pitch. It was a very, very tricky pitch to bat on early on, and Joey Kelly and Kai Fowle made a total of it as Lonnie Lawrence is going to open the bowling here for his Renegades in his debut, and he goes short and down leg to start. So a bit of an inauspicious start for him, but luckily the fielding's there, and they just take the single. And he doesn't field the ball either there, Lonnie, but when you're a bowler, you have bigger things to talk about as how he just adjusts the fields a little bit. Cody Mansour and Liam Rogers to open the batting for the Sixers. Josh, any comment on these two?
Yeah, I mean, look, they've held down the fort pretty well in the first couple of games they did play. So keen to see how if they get off the mark and cut this lead that the Renegades have down pretty quickly, or if it becomes more of a long game type situation.
Yeah, and Liam Rogers, of course, Queensland international representative, and he gets off the mark there with a nice little French cut for 4. He actually does that quite often, in all honesty, to start his innings, which is either very lucky or very, very skillful. And Cody Mansour was in the Aussie squad also, didn't get a game, but had a great season last season. I think he was second on the Golden Bat, whatever we call that, most runs for the season. So 2 tricky batters for Lonnie to start with, and he's going at 10s to start his first 3 balls. So, of course, a French cut you can't really count for. As now Liam Rogers, he just plays off the front foot to the short ball. We saw Joey Kelly do that a little bit as well. So I guess this pitch, it is soft. It's just not quite carrying through like you'd expect. We haven't seen many big pull shots yet. And maybe we won't all game if the pitch doesn't harden up, as you wouldn't expect it to. Liam Rogers again gets another short ball, and finally we see a bit of a back foot shot. He puts it through a forward middle wicket just for the single. They have cover out there. So good fielding placement there. Brings Mansour back on strike, the left-hander. So Lonnie Lawrence left will adjust there to the left-hand, right-hand combination. And he might be able to get it out of this over okay. Only 6 runs off the first 5 balls. We'll have to see what he dishes up. And he goes a bit fuller there, and Mansour walks across and plays it through the vacant mid-wicket. I don't know if he'll make it to the rope. The fielder's coming around to cut it off. Yeah, some great work out there to keep it to 2, and I think both sides will be happy with that first over.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a good first over from Lonnie Lawrence in his career as well. Obviously, I'm definitely I mean, I myself, I've bowled some shocking overs as well. So definitely a good start for his kind of confidence going through this game.
Yeah, now TBK into the attack. He averages a healthy 48, so he's going to want to bring that down as this season goes on. Very interesting that the Renegades have gone 2 pace bowlers to start on this spin-friendly pitch as Liam Rogers absolutely smokes one to a short point who can't handle it. I just came at him a bit fast there and they sneak a single and they just adjust the field accordingly. I think that maybe they're going to save their spins for later. I'm not 100% sure what they're thinking here. You just had a look at this pitch to know it's spin-friendly as now Bonzakahu who's going to come around the wicket to the left-hander, pretty standard move here, and he goes full outside off, and yeah, that's driving territory, and that's what he does. But the short cover does his role there to stop any kind of movement, and a good start from Bonzakahu so far. He's run up so long that we had a different camera angle outside the power play circle, which is pretty extreme, as he goes short ball now, and yeah, when you have the kind of pace that he does, sometimes you just tend to spray him. As you say, I think that might actually be the first wide of the game. The umpire calls it there, and they also say that's one above the shoulders. And Bonzakahu comes in again. He goes a bit fuller this time, and Mansour plays a nice little square drive out to deep point. They'll only get the single. They're just doing it conservatively at the moment, the Sixers.
Absolutely, yeah. The Sixers are playing the long game. I guess they kind of saw how the long game worked for the Renegades. I guess maybe they're going to try and replicate that. It's probably not the way I do it. I felt like a lot of things went the way of the Renegades during that last couple overs. So I guess we'll see if they continue to play the long game or not.
So just to clarify, when you say the long game, you mean tap it around and then try and catch up later? Is that what you're sort of getting at?
Yeah, correct.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a pretty tried and tested strategy in the SRL. Just sort of try and take it as deep as you can and still be in the game with an over to go. But normally it's the defending side that tries to do that and they try and pull off a sort of miracle over to finish. Doesn't often work, and often it's more with like the smaller run totals. But yeah, I think that for the moment, just in the power play, the Sixers, yeah, be conservative, trying not to be too crazy as Cody Mansour puts one straight to sort of forward cover there for the dot ball, and nice over from Bonzakahu. And so it's going to be Den Hellier bringing himself into the attack. Bowls right arm leggies. We saw how dangerous Blair Curtin was bowling these exact same balls as Liam Rogers gets on the sweep to start with. Bit of a slog sweep, but it works. Plays it in front of mid wicket for 4 runs, and that's not the start Daniel Hellier would want. Yeah, very well played. Just got his head right over the ball there, Liam Rogers. Daniel Hellier comes in again now, and almost the same ball. And this time it's the wrong end. Liam Rogers plays all around it, and Hellier takes his first wicket. Very well bowled here. I can see it come out of the hands. Yeah, the wrong end there. Wow, that turned an absolute mile.
Absolutely, as we see Hellier using the pitch to the full extent there. That was a great spin off there.
Yeah, just used his angle, started wide, and just kept coming in there. And now it's Eddie Lewis into the attack for the Sixers, and he's got a tall task batting on this pitch here, but he starts well with a nice little, heave-ho to the offside. It was a bit of an awkward-looking shot, but it's worth 2 runs. They all look the same in the scorebook. And he's off the mark here, 73 off 46, or 71 off 45 now. The run rate starting to creep up, required run rate starting to creep up for the Sixers as Eddie Lewis just absolutely plays nowhere near that one. Then Hellier doing all sorts of work off the pitch here. As he comes in again, he's just spinning a web around Eddie at the moment, and that's surely out. Yeah, I think that was caught behind. We'll have to wait and see if they refer it. No, it could be a stumping actually, but great bowling from Den Hellier, just dragged him wide. Yeah, I think it was caught behind the head, yeah. Saw him coming down the wicket, so he dragged it wide and just put it outside of his reach. So yeah, straight off the toe and well capped there by John McCartney, who stumps him just for good measure, just to confuse me in the commentary box. And Eddie Lewis has to depart. 2 runs off 3 balls, brings Maverick Keller into the attack. He averages 35. For a long time, he was the best finisher in the competition, but he's moved up to 4 here. What do you think he can do, Josh?
Yeah, look, with Mav there, obviously we briefly spoke about him in the intermission there, while the teams changed and got prepared for the second innings. Second half of the innings, I should probably say. But
Second innings is correct.
no, I am right. um, yeah, look, making the transition over is a bit of a difficult, difficult one. Trying to remember all this, but no, we did briefly speak about Mav Keller, and kind of the impact he'll make. Definitely keen to see how he does go. I believe we did see him in the back end of the bowling attack for the Sixers. Is that correct? It was the last couple
Yeah,
of
we did.
overs.
He went
Yeah,
for 19.
yeah. So hopefully he bats better than he bowls.
Yeah, he want to make up for it. And yeah, he's had a golden duck this year, and then scored a few runs against us last week. Of course, he did have the double chance, which is pretty lucky. As at the moment, Corey Bell's got him in absolutely all sorts. They go up for an appeal. I think he hit that pretty comprehensively though. So the umpire shakes his head, and Bell with two dot balls to start just puts a bit of pressure on Mav here. Bowling the left arm Chinaman's. And that is not where you want to put him. If you're spinning it towards the leg side, you cannot pitch it outside leg stump. It's just a free swing of the bat, and that's what Matt Keller does there for 4 runs. And so now Corey Bell, he started well, but he went for the 4 runs. We'll have to see what he does now. You got to try and just get it across him like Lee Simons did. Just if you're going to start, that's not it. If you're going to start coming across the batsman, you need to make sure you push the ball out there. It's 3 runs down the leg side, which is what Mav Keller's exploiting at the moment. And then he's run out. Mav Keller went for the 3rd run. It was never on. I don't know what he was thinking, but that's a run out.
Geez, it's I kind of thought that when they fielded it, they were just going to toss it back. But yeah, you kind of see Mav Keller going for that 3rd run, and yeah, all
in
sorts.
The frame, I don't think.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was so far away from that Mav Keller. I don't know what he was thinking with that 3rd run. Like shell and peas for John McCartney behind the stumps there, and I will see who threw it in a moment. It was a terrific throw. As we just work through the appeal slowly. Daniel Hoyer, so the captain doing it on both ends now, the wicket and the run out. Isn't he having a game? It brings Anthony McDonald into the attack. Healthy average of 36 at a pretty good strike rate. He's going to have to play the Joey Kelly role here. 3 down early for the Sixers, in a bit of trouble. Chasing down his big total of 90 on this pitches. Amac just plays a nice little heave-ho to the leg side. And Mansour, perhaps the forgotten man in this innings, he's just been at the non-strikers for a little bit. He's only faced 6 of the first 20-odd balls. Do you think he can capitalise now?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think holding him this long, he'd probably be itching to get a bit more involved, as we see him take the delivery
exactly
here.
what he does.
Wow.
Yeah, and well fielded on the boundary. The slog sweep coming into vogue for the Sixers at the moment. We saw Liam Rogers play it. Amac open his account with it, and then Cody Mansour goes for one there. And if they just get it a bit squarer, that's 4 runs for Cody Mansour, but just not quite timing it yet. And that's what happens. You sit at the non-striker for so long. It feels like you have to start your innings again here as he just taps the pitch and wonders why it's spinning so much. You can thank your captain, Blair Curtin, for that one. And Corey Bell finishes quite a good over there. And now it's Daniel Hell, 2 for 7 and a run out. Having a terrific game so far as Amac faces up and just flicks that one to the leg side for probably 2. Although they don't want to chance it after the run out. So they stay at the single, and this will bring the matchup that they're after. If they can crack through Cody Mansour, this game's just about theirs. So Hell as captain knows how important this one is. Can he get the wicket, do you think, Josh?
I definitely think he's got the capability to do it. As we see obviously a dot fall there. I'm interested to see how Daniel does this. He's definitely got a big job here to try and obviously set the Renegades up. Obviously being a new club, but also to kind of save their season a little bit too.
Yeah, and the full toss is going to help unless you're Blair Curtin, then you jag a wicket somehow. Cody Mansour does exactly what John McCartney does and puts that away for a boundary. And he's moved to 12 off 9, so 27 balls in this innings, and he's only faced 9 of them. And he decides he wants to play the sweep again and steps well across his stumps there. We saw this in his first game, actually. Mansour just loved playing square of the wicket and behind square, and it looks like he's picked up where he's left off. in that first week with 2 4s there off Daniel Hellier. So Hellier under a bit of pressure now. Maybe he goes to big Rogan again. He got him the wicket in the first over. We'll have to see how he responds. And he just goes to the leg spinner again. And with no one at deep mid wicket, that's just 3 runs for Cody Mansour and 12 runs off the last 3 balls. And the run rate's starting to look a bit more manageable.
Absolutely. I mean, we mentioned it kind of in the intermission break, kind of seeing how we were going to go. Obviously, we mentioned that it was a respectable score that the Renegades got to. Obviously, the 90 runs, defending 91. It just seems to be getting a harder job for the Sixers there, and it's going to get even harder now with that wicket.
Yeah, Hellier gets his man in the end. Just floated that one a little bit wider, and I don't know if that was drifted a bit towards the offside or if Mansour just played all around it, but he didn't really get near it at all in the end. He departs for a well-made 20 off just the 12 balls, but the Sixers in a bit of a hole now as Matt Harris comes to the crease. Him and Amack are really going to have to dig this side out of trouble, and Hellier finished with 3 for 20 off his 2 overs. Pretty elite figures as now Corey Bell comes back into the attack, and McDonald just plays him for a dot ball down to mid-off. And the spinners, they're often a little bit expensive in the SBL, but just like in real life, they know how to jag their wickets, and maybe Corey Bell can do that as... Oh, I think that's a drop catch behind the centre from Dry McCartney. I think that was an edge there from Anthony McDonald. And that chance has gone begging. Corey Bell still wicketless this match. He won't be happy with that as he comes in once again. Drops it a bit shorter and, yeah, punished accordingly. If you're going to bowl spin, short is not where you want to go, and that's 4 runs to Anthony McDonald.
I'm not sure about you, Snicker, but I'm getting a bit of deja vu. I believe the Renegades were in a very similar, if not same, situation at this point in their innings. Obviously, batters 5 and 6 having to dig themselves out on the 5th over. So yeah, definitely some scenes we've definitely seen before.
Yeah, I think that the Renegades actually might have waited even longer to get a move on. I think they waited to about the 7th or 8th over before they really started swinging. So Mansour just went a little bit early last over and he disappeared accordingly. As now Amack is absolutely plumb. They go up there and of course the finger goes up. He just missed a full one, landed on the toe. There's no way that was going to miss anything as they just converse here. And you got to think Amack will go on his way. He does here. Just missed the big full toss. And that was going to smack straight into middle stump there, about halfway up, middle and leg. And unfortunately for the Sixers, that's another one down.
Absolutely. Obviously, a bit unfortunate, but it does bring the captain, Blair Curtin, into the fold. We saw kind of Daniel Hellier do his job on the batting side. So we'll see Blair Curtin if he can do his job.
Yeah, Hellier came in, though, in the 9th over, as opposed to Blair coming in the 6th. So a bit more work for him to do. And he has a high score at a score of 11. So a good chance for him to overtake that one today. A lot of time left to bat. He just takes a single off the last ball of the over. So Corey Bell finishes with 1 for 14 off his 2 overs. Pretty handy little 4-over spell from him and Daniel Hellier. And yeah, that wicket ball, you can see it there in the yellow, straight into middle stump. About a quarter of the way up. You don't get much more pump from that. As now Vakatini comes into the attack, averages 41 with the ball. So maybe this is someone that the Sixers can try and get after. As Harris is still yet to face, I've just noticed. Just been seeing it on strike. And he goes short to start with, and Blair Curtin puts it behind square on the offside, but the point makes a good diving stop to his left. Yeah, Curtin, not a renowned batter, but he has been around for a while, and maybe he can get a hold of the rookie, do you think?
I definitely think he can. As you mentioned, Blair Curtin's been around for a little bit. I definitely think he's got the experience to show the rookie Vakatini some tricks with the bat.
Yeah, and I mean, he's bowling right arm, and 2 short balls outside off, and Blair Curtin very conscientiously has just put him into the ground, not wanting to really see the boundary. So maybe he's going to have to get a move on here as Vakatini goes short again. And well, maybe that's why he didn't go after the last ones, because he's missed that one by a country mile there, Blair Curtin. Vakatini really gets a wicket out of nothing. And good work behind the stumps to get him out. If Blair Curtin stayed still, that's disappearing into row 16 behind point. But unfortunately, he preempted the strike there. And this just got tougher for the Sixers.
It most certainly did, as we kind of see the replay there. He was quite definitely out by a fair while there.
Yeah, good work by John McCartney behind the stumps, and spinners are just getting it done at the moment. And a bit of cook yourself for the Sixers. They were the ones who decided this pitch, and the spinners for the Renegades have done a number on them. As Lee Simon comes into bat, scored 1 run in his career, and Matt Harris still yet to face the ball. He's watched 3 wickets go down the other end. For 2 wickets, sorry. He hasn't faced one yet, so he'll be itching to get on strike as Lee Simon just plays a dot ball there. And 43 off 20, they're up over 2 runs of all needed now. It's getting very tough for the Sixers. They might need some junk time runs in a severe form. We saw what Joey Kelly and Kai Forward did in their little junk time, and the Sixers are going to need that significantly. But of course, they're down to their number 8 now, and Lee Simon, not a noted batter, as it doesn't matter. He goes straight over cover for 4 runs, Lee Simon. Perhaps that's what Blake Curtin was looking to do, but this time Lee Simons connects with the ball.
Absolutely. As we see, Lee Simons there beats his high score of 1. He now goes to a high score of 4.
Yeah, and so every run from here on out, as Lonnie Lawrence is going to come back into the attack now. So maybe the Renegades have gone a bit early. They've bowled out Bell. They've bowled out Hell Yeah. And they've sort of given themselves something to work with, but it could be the chance for the Sixers now as their less experienced bowlers come on to really score some runs as Harris gets a 2 off his first ball to get off the mark. And we've seen Harris do this before. I think in the rookie showcase, he scored a couple. And in a Sixers game last season, yeah, he came in about now and really teed off. And that's what they'll be hoping for here as Lawrence comes in again. 2 men out behind Square on the leg side. And that's exactly where he goes. Bowling to the field here, Lonnie Lawrence. And just the 1 run. And at the moment, 1 run isn't good enough. I don't think 2 runs are even good enough. I need 3s and 4s if they want to stay in this game. And that's what Lee Simon will be thinking. He's not someone to step down for a challenge. He's going to try and put this one into the boundary somewhere. As Lonnie comes in again, goes full. And again, Lee Simons has decided that he knows how to cover drive. Pulled that one out of the rear end. Lee Simons back-to-back cover drives for 4.
Yeah, you must have been listening to the broadcast here. Obviously, you just mentioned that 1s and 2s aren't good enough when you'd be going for 3s and 4s, and he's just pulled out, obviously, 2 of them he's done. So someone's definitely paying attention.
Yeah, there was one player I didn't expect to hit lofted shots over cover, and he goes again here, just beats the fielder for a 3rd consecutive 4th Lee Simons. Yeah, if there was one person I expected to pull this one out, it was not Lee Simon. The cover drive, personally, is my favourite shot in cricket, and he's just playing it very nicely at the moment. Lonnie Lawrence getting pantsed at the moment by the number 8. He's scored a 1 run previously in his SBL career. He's up to 12 now. And they still don't put in a deep cover, so they're really testing him here if he's got the fortitude to go again. But no, Lonnie Lawrence blinks first and goes short. Takes it out of that cover drive region. And yeah, I think that's 1 to the Sixers there. That over especially is going well, but it's not over yet, and they still need more runs off it. And so it's Matt Harris here. Again, no deep cover, just the 2 men behind square and 1 at deep point. Anything full could disappear. And he goes full. And Matt Harris just decides to keep strike for the next over, probably wisely. Punches it to the deep point for 1. Lee Simon would have put that over cover for 4, though, if he was on strike the way he's been batting.
Yeah, we see the Sixers. Sorry about that, Snicko. We see the Sixers' job gets a little bit harder.
Again.
A bit preemptive. It gets even harder now. I was about to comment on the fact that they're 26 runs required from 12 balls, but they're now 1 less wicket down. So,
Vacatini's just been dynamite in this little spell. Removed Curtin, and now he's removed Harris. And I suppose for the Sixers, just the whole walk down the wicket thing isn't quite working. We saw how well Rogers, Mansour, even Anthony McDonald swept in their brief stays at the crease. And unfortunately, the lower order have decided they want to get active and try and put him back over his head, which I actually really like. One of my favourite things is watching the bowler turn around and follow the ball, but you got to make contact. If you're going to miss, you're going to be out. And that's exactly what John McCartney's done there with a nice stumping. And maybe Matt Harris shouldn't have kept strike. Maybe he should have let Lee Simon face. As he departs there for 4 off 4, and that brings Mason Remy into the crease with a healthy average of 3, with a high score of 3 not out, which means he's got at least 1 duck in his career. Vacatini coming in again. He goes full. Oh, and that one's just turned too much. It's beat everything, but it's a dot ball and things are getting tough here. 26 off 10. We need boundaries here. What can Remy do? He goes short and he can't go anywhere. Just straight to a short mid off. Hits into the circle. You got to hit and run here. You need to get Lee Simon back on strike, but it could be too little too late. Those are words I never thought I'd be saying. You need to get Lee Simon back on strike. But the way he's been eating him, he's a much better chance of doing something than Remy is. Remy tries to go over the top, doesn't quite time and just goes for one here. So Simon will have 2 balls to do some damage, and they need 6s now. 4s. It's either a 4 off every ball or a couple of 6s. And they put someone to deep cover here, so they've seen this guy bat. They figured out what's going on, but it means there's no one square. What can Lee Simon do? Oh, he just goes to the edge once again. He tried to go through cover, but Vacatini just turned it a little bit here, and I think that the Renegades will be pretty confident now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were talking about them a little bit earlier. Obviously, them being slow to start and have they done enough? I definitely didn't think that they did. I initially thought that they might not have done enough, especially with a side like the Sixers. But they've just done really well in their bowling attack to limitate how far the Sixers can actually go. And we see TBK, he'll finish us up for the game.
Yeah, you have to have a catastrophic over to lose from here. They need 23, I think, off the last over. Yeah, 23 is right. Remy's on strike. They go short ball, and yeah, he's unable to do anything with it. And this is when you just don't have their set batters at the end of the game, like the Renegades did in Kai Fire and Joey Kelly. You're going to get balls that you should be putting away like that one, and instead they go for dots. So a really good bowling display here from the Renegades. I do got to think when you play on these pitches that are so obviously bowling favoured, you kind of run the risk of a boil over like this where the Renegade spinners just did absolute numbers on the Sixers here and just really restricted them early. Not the result that I expected, but that's a shocking ball. And somehow Lee Simon puts it to the right of the keeper. That should have disappeared, but perhaps he's batting for the average now once they're not out. But anyway, yeah, the Sixers, they'll go to 1 win, 2 losses, joined by the Renegades. So it'll be a little net run rate thing there to see who's on top. Not the start the Sixers were after. Also not the start the Renegades are after as Bonzakari picks up a little wicket here. Junk time wicket there for Remy, caught behind. Try to sort of ramp that over a deep point. Don't bother referring that one. That was very obviously out. The Sixers, I think they get to have their bye. Do you think that could be something that could just set them up? Give them a bit of a breather?
I definitely think having that bye definitely does help in some situations. Obviously, they're not running into the bye with with momentum. That's the one. They're not running into it with momentum, so there's no real risk of losing any. So I don't know. It could be very good for them.
Yeah, maybe. Well, you're right. It can't be worse for him. As Dolan bats a very rare chance for him to bat, and he's going to get 2 balls. First one's a dot. Can he do anything with the extra just to help the net run rate? It's full and outside off stump, and he edges it, but John McCartney keeps it very well. And Renegades, they finished up very good winners here, led by Joey Kelly in a foul with the bat. Daniel Howier, 3 wickets and a run out in the field. We see him celebrate here. Corey Bell was terrific as well, as was Vacatini. Those 3 really did numbers. As we look here, 5 for 90 plays, 8 for 69. Like I mentioned, Joey Kelly 39, Kai Fowler 26. Wickets for almost everyone in the Sixers except for Keller, who went for 19 off his over. And then for the Sixers batting, Cody Mansour, the lone man to get above 15. Lee Simon with a little cameo at the end. Liam Rogers kind of got going a little bit, but unfortunately for them, bowled Daniel Howier, caught behind Daniel Howier, ran out Daniel Howier. He just ripped the heart out of that top order, and they never really recovered.
Absolutely, and that's exactly kind of what you want to see from your captain. Obviously, inspire the team from the front, and no better way to do that than have your name on the score sheet. It was 5 or 6 different times.
Yeah, not wrong. Maybe I should be a bowler because they actually look kind of fun. Anyway, that's all we have time for tonight. Tomorrow we have the Thunder taking on the Heat. Sure to be a blockbuster, and we'll see you all then.